do have a full field, 33 riders, please be safe. Riders ready.
Come on, Eric.
You got a gap, you got a gap. Let's go, dude, let's go. Easy, bud.
Left, take go. One to go, 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 one. Left, to go.
Move up, move up. Pretty great. I was coming down this hill and I didn't see this speed bump. Not sure how, because it's literally clearly marked with white lines, but I didn't see it. And I was taking my hands off the bars. I was doing something with my glasses or something, and I freaking hit this, dude, and just wipe out going like 25. And yeah, I'm like bleeding a little bit. My freaking hip hurts. Great way to start this weekend, and I have my race starting in like 15 minutes. So yeah, look at my bottle's like way over there. So I'm gonna try to get cleaned up, and hopefully nothing is broken, because my back hurts kind of bad right now. Hey, welcome back to the Glycogen Cycling channel. We have a lot to talk about, guys. And before we get into it, I just want to point out this guy right in front of me. That really hurt me right there. That little double step that guy took gave me a extra terrible start to this race. But before we get to that and talk about this race a little bit, I want to talk about what happened before this race started. And that was, I actually crashed while warming up in a parking lot. Yeah. So it's kind of embarrassing to say, but when I tell you the story, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but also it's still embarrassing. I was going down a hill in a parking lot, and there was a speed bump at the bottom, which you saw in the previous clip, but I don't know if I just like didn't remember that there's speed bumps exist, or I was just like not paying attention at all. But whatever may have happened, my bike came out from underneath me. I went over the bars, like not expecting to be on the ground at all. And when I'm midway through the air, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I land directly on my hip. And for those of you who have crashed before, you know road rash kind of sucks, but when you slide across the road, you don't really do any like structural muscle bone damage. It's just like superficial. You have some scrapes. They suck for like 3 weeks and then it's healed. But I landed so hard on my hip that I actually had like issues with my leg and my like ribs throughout the whole weekend. And I'm recording this on Tuesday after this happened. This happened on a Saturday, and I'm still having a lot of pain in my hip and leg. So that being said, I, being a racer, decided to go to the line. And while I did about half a lap of a warm up, and while I'm warming up, I realized my number is like flapping, being held on by like one pin. So I knew this course was like crucial to start in the front, because as you'll see, I mean, we're single file through this whole thing. And if someone gets dropped in front of you, like is happening now, I mean, it's nearly impossible to catch back up, because you can't get around people. So I did the half a lap and realized I need to repin this number. Like it's going to fly off. So I had to get off the course, go repin it. And the time I did that, everyone is lined up. They're ready to start the race. And I started dead last. And that it killed me. And from the gun, I'm like at 170 plus heart rate. which if you've been following me for a while, you know that's like I'm in my red zone. I'm hurting if I'm above 170. So was not an ideal start to this race and not an ideal end either. But overall, I felt like I was cornering like really well. Like I felt like I got the hang of that corner pretty decently. And right now I'm like, this is a crucial moment. I'm like, I need to close this gap. I'm going as hard as I can. And, you know, we're about 5 minutes into this race and I'm, you know, about cooked. So I know everyone else is cooked too. So I'm just trying like as much as I can to get up and move around people. But, you know, I don't have the power. And on top of that, standing up, especially up these hills, is like actually hurting my left leg. And, you know, so that was not ideal. So not making excuses here, but I did not have a great start. And yeah, that kind of showed for the this race. So this was actually a part I should have just hammered it and tried to catch back on, but luckily I was able to, you know, they're slowed down a little bit here, but again, it wasn't enough to make me be able to catch my breath at all, really. And this part, you know, if you're in the back here on these corners, it, like I've said so many times, it's so hard to, you know, stay on the field when you have to break into the corners and the guys in front can just stay at speed, basically. So super hard course. It was like a bowl shape. So, you know, you go down in the middle towards the finish. And look how long this line of cyclists are. We are single file. I mean, for this whole thing, coming down this front stretch at, you know, greater than 33 miles per hour. And guys are blowing up left and right. There's gaps opening up everywhere. And it's so hard to stay on this field with, you know, people getting dropped in front of you. And having crashed just before this. So mentally, I'm just like not completely into this race. I'm like still like adrenaline going from beforehand. And, you know, ended up getting dropped basically through this race. But this guy in front of me, we kind of worked together for a while. And it's interesting because, you know, when you get dropped, you're still basically holding the same speed as the front guys, but you're able to go through the corners like so much faster, single file. And, you know, because of that, you know, even if you're dropped, you kind of go the same speed still. But you can see, like, look how fast that gap opened up. That guy just didn't hold the wheel through the corner. And before you know it, there's 20 bike lengths of space opening up. And even in front of that, there's 3 guys that have, you know, another 10 bike lengths. So it's just, this course is extremely important to start in the front and have a good start. So the combination of my number not being pinned properly after I crashed and, you know, that guy in front of me having to like miss his clip in kind of, you know, put me on a really bad start. So I don't know. I thought I was doing the corners really well. I thought I could have stuck with them a little bit, but, you know, that being said, is what it is. There's next year. So yeah. This was actually a part of the 6-gap Century weekend. So this race was on Saturday, and on Sunday, the next day, was a 11,000 feet of climbing, 104-mile day or so. So this was, you know, kind of an opener for me. I was really targeting Sunday to do well there, and I actually did pretty well at the start and then kind of messed up, but you'll see when I come out with the next video in a few days or so, how I did. But yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe for that video because it was actually a lot of fun. The whole weekend was ton of fun, hanging out with some friends, riding bikes, and, you know, just generally having a good time. That's what it's all about, right? So, yeah, as you can see, this race is coming out to a close. The gap is a little bit too big now, so we're kind of just finishing it off, and ended up getting pulled probably about 20 minutes in of a 60-minute race. So not my best race I've ever done, but I knew this was going to be hard, and crashing beforehand was not, you know, an ideal scenario. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like this and subscribe for the Century video that I'm going to come out with over the next couple days. And also, congrats to Cat 5 Pro. He won the Cat 4-5 race, first race of the day. Hoping I could, you know, double up and have our group win 2 races of the day, but, you know, didn't work out. Some strong guys here, and yeah, that's how it ended. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for the 6-gap Century video. Thanks for watching.